And welcome back to the next episode. Going to continue where I left off. There we go, there's the phrasing. Oh, great. In a split second, everything falls to darkness. A cold gust of air brushes past and I feel weightless. But just as fast as it happens, I come to, and gravity suddenly forces my entire body back to the ground. Okay, alright. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. It takes a few minutes, but I finally regain my bearings. Ugh, my head is spinning. What's going on? I lift my head only to find myself unexpectedly squinting into a dark, unfamiliar street. As the moon shines brightly in the sky, it illuminates a cobblestone road around me. Huh? Where am I? What happened to the sun? Wasn't it morning like 2 seconds ago? I'm not drunk again, am I? There's no way. I wasn't even drinking this time. I lightly slap my cheeks in an effort to wake myself from this seemingly lucid dream. However, after a few fruitless seconds of light taps, nothing changes. As I look up, I can only take in the sight of unfamiliar streets and cobblestone houses, which look like they belong on the set of a medieval fantasy movie. As a chilly breeze passes me, I shiver and unconsciously wrap my arms tightly around my frame. Yep, I'm lost. Physically, psychologically, in life, in general. And what's with these weird-looking houses, too? Did I walk into a movie set by accident or something? I take out my phone and quickly tap the screen, but only the sight of a red X appears to greet me. What the? No cell signal? What's going on? Just where the hell am I? Okay, wait. I remember I was chasing down Aslan just a few moments ago to return something. And then I turned a corner, but... Wait, what exactly happened after that? I can't remember anything? Huh? I jolt upright, nearly dropping my phone when I suddenly hear another pair of footsteps slowly approaching from behind me. I spin around towards the source of the sound, and my heart stops when I spot the silhouette of a tall figure standing cloaked in the shadows just a few paces away. Hello there, strange shadowy figure person. Say, you wouldn't happen to have cell service, would you? But the figure makes no reaction at my joke. From the dim moonlight illuminating the side of his cloak, I can only make out a pair of leather boots peeking out from the darkness. Sorry. Jokes aside, I think I'm lost. Would you, happen to know where we are? I'm met with another beat of silence, and half my instincts scream at me that this is the moment to turn tail and run. But before I can act on it, the figure wordlessly takes a rush step forward. In that moment, blood drains from my face and I feel an instinctual rush of panic. Without thinking, I quickly whip out the strange pen from my pocket and hold it out defensively as a last-ditch effort. Wait! Hold it! Don't get any closer! I'm armed and I'm not afraid to use this, you got that? Marlo? Huh? No, wait. Luna? That voice! One moment, I think I'm gonna turn my mic down a little bit. There we go. That way I have a less chance of actually going into the red zone. Whoopsies. The figure finally steps out into the moonlight, and relief floods me as I stare into the familiar pair of emerald eyes. Aslan! Oh my god! You nearly gave me a heart attack, bro! Luna, what? What in the world are you doing here? Well, I was walking to campus when I saw you drop something earlier. I picked it up and tried catching up to you to give it back, but then you, well, you turned a corner and, I don't really remember much else, to be honest. I just woke up here and then all of a sudden it's nighttime and my phone doesn't have signal and... I can't help but tilt my head as I notice Aslan's usual crisp bartender uniform has now been replaced with a stark violet suit and a long dark cloak. And, why are you dressed like someone from Lord of the Bracelets exactly? Is that supposed to be a pun on Lord of the Rings? Because if so, not the most accurate reference you could have made, but alright. I look up expecting Aslan to answer my questions, but I feel myself blink in confusion as he only stares at me in utter disbelief. After a few silent moments, he clears his throat, regaining his composure, and pinches his temple before letting out a forced laugh. I must be seeing things again. This simply isn't possible. I can't help but watch as Aslan lightly slaps his cheek as if trying to wake himself from a dream. However, after several minutes, he looks back at me and I can't help but tilt my head curiously at him. Suddenly, he turns towards me with a grave expression. Luna, right? You're really Luna? The girl I spoke to at the bar last night? I blink in confusion, but nod in reply nonetheless. Yes, the, one and only. However, my affirmation seems to only baffle Aslan further as he steps back hesitantly. He runs a hand through his pink hair as his eyes dart back and forth on the cobblestone tiles under him. One moment. Anyway. All of a sudden, he seems to forget my presence altogether as he starts muttering to himself. I didn't cast the wrong spell, did I? Surely not. Even if I did. Perhaps. But then... No, that simply can't be the case. So then, how could this... I can't help but tense up as Aslan suddenly stops in his tracks and turns to me with yet another look filled with disbelief. Wait, are you human? However, before I can answer, another pair of thunderous footsteps ring up behind us, followed by a low chuckle. Aslan and I turn to stare into the faces of 3 different men. Or, that's what I had assumed they were. A slight gasp escapes me as the figures step out from the shadows and into the moonlight. I can make out the hues of dark browns and green colors decorating their scaly, reptile-like skin. Their arms are as thick as wheels of a truck, and in their hands they hold clubs filled with spikes and nails. Sharp horns stick out from their wide, strangely deformed faces as glimmering fangs greet us. What on earth? They slowly make their way over to us with slow, thunderous footsteps. I can feel the ground begin to shake slightly with each approaching step they take. Small pebbles rustle in place, and I can only gulp as I look towards Aslan. He frowns as he clicks his tongue. Lovely. Just wonderful how this night is turning out. First, unexpected company, and now... ogres. Hold up. Did you just say... ogres? This is a joke, right? They're just men in body paint with movie props coming out of their heads, right? Aslan, please say right. I feel a shiver run up my spine as Aslan suddenly grabs me and pulls me behind him. He leans over to whisper in my ear as he motions toward the approaching giants. I suppose we should tackle one preoccupation at a time. For now, please stay behind me and don't say a word. With no idea what's happening, I can only meekly nod. I watch as Aslan turns to face the 3 giant snickering beastmen with a forced smile. Greetings, gentlemen. How may I be of assistance on this fine night? The 2 ogres grunt in amusement as they take a step back to reveal a 3rd ogre. This one is clearly larger and more covered in spikes than the other 2. The 3rd ogre takes a step towards Aslan as he looks him up and down. You... not ogres. This is... ogre territory only. Not allowed. The large ogre points a menacing finger at Aslan. The two nearby lackeys seem to nod their head in unison and chant, not allowed, under their breath. Aslan hesitates for a moment before bowing his head quickly. Yes, it seems you're right. Terribly sorry. We're accidentally passed on the wrong way. As a matter of fact, we'll be leaving quietly now and... Just as Aslan grabs my hand and begins to turn around, the giant ogre slams down his giant club right in our path. He shakes his spiked head as he smiles, fangs glimmering in the moonlight. Price to pay for breaking rules. No pay, no leave. I can't help but gulp as the ogre eyes down Aslan with a foul glint in his eyes. I catch the appearance of steam coming out of his huge nostrils as it glowers over us. Glowers? Whatever. Aslan's eyes darken for a minute before letting out an exasperated sigh. He lets go of my hand and digs through his bag for a few seconds before pulling out a gleaming, glowing ruby pendant and holds it up in the air. I trust this will suffice, yes? A necklace? How is that little thing going to impress these huge monsters? As if on cue, I hear excited grunts coming from the other two ogres. I watch as they excitedly feast their eyes on the glimmering, glowing ruby pendant. The third ogre, looking somewhat disappointed in the turn of events, huffs as he yanks the pendant hastily out of Aslan's hand. The two lock eyes for a few more tense moments before the group of ogres begin to retreat into the opposite direction wordlessly. I let out a sigh of relief I didn't even know I was holding as I placed my hand over my heart. Watching as they completely disappear out of view in the cobblestone darkness, I feel my heart rate. Wow, I almost read that as something else. I feel my heart rate begin to finally slow down. I turn my head towards Aslan only to catch him with a sulking expression as he pinches his forehead. 2 centuries worth of research. Gone in a heartbeat. Aslan? Are you okay? You look like you're about to cry. Almost as if my voice snaps him out of his trance, Aslan looks back at me and lets out another sigh as he faces forward. Sorry, it's nothing. Back to the second, more pressing matter at hand. Quite frankly, I have no possible idea how you managed to get here, but... well, I suppose it's irrelevant now. I'll just send you back home, alright? Wait. So we're just... totally not gonna talk about the 3-horned green dudes you bartered off with a weird glowing stone? Or why we're in a place that looks like it's sort of out of the Middle Ages? For the first time since our reunion, Aslan shoots me a small amused smile as he places a reassured hand on my shoulder. Believe me, I know it must be a lot to take in for you right now, but trust me, there's things you're better off not knowing. In a few moments from now, all of this will have been but a fleeting dream and you'll be back home, safe and sound. So, I know I might be asking for a lot, but would you bear with me and not ask any questions? I'm afraid I simply won't be able to answer them. As Aslan shoots me a sympathetic look, I open my mouth to say something, but I find no room for arguing as a pleading, almost desperate glint shines in his eyes. I can only quietly nod my head as he shoots me yet another look of relief. Thank you, Luna, truly. Now then, stand a few paces back for me. Following his instructions, I take a few steps back and watch as Aslan puts down his bag. He outstretches his hand, and my eyes widen as violet lights seem to spring out from around him. Out forward from around him, Jesus. Still, very pretty. Love it. Suddenly, a gust of wind blows out of nowhere as I watch a giant magic circle appear on the ground under Aslan as he begins to chant a spell. Wait! Aslan stops momentarily as he looks at me with curiosity. Oh, yes? Despite the thousands of questions tugging at my lips, I can only quickly take out the pocket watch from before as I extend it out towards him with a shy pout. You dropped this. One moment. Alright. You dropped this. Aslan chuckles as he outstretches his hand, and I watch with widened eyes as the pocket watch suddenly floats over to his bag. Thank you. I appreciate you going through so much to return this. It is indeed quite precious to me. Now then, let's get you home, alright? I promise you'll have a year's worth of free drinks on the house for being so understanding about all this. Well, not that you may remember much anyways. Without being granted another second, Aslan chants out words in a language I can't understand, and the magic circle moves from under him to under me. Oh god, I hope I don't mispronounce anything. Septimus, Solitus, Memoranda. Oh my god, that's really pretty. I can't help but use my arms as a shield as the wind envelops me and a dazzling light suddenly overtakes everything in my sight. I squeeze my eyes shut as black replaces blinding light. After a few moments, I open my eyes, half expecting to be in a completely new location, only to find the familiar cobblestone pavement still under me. Who saw that coming? Because I did. The glowing magic circle and the winds have completely vanished, only the cries of a far-off owl are heard. I look up to slowly see Aslan, but was still stuck in a weird-looking pose as if he were summoning a great mystical power. Yet, nothing's happening. Aslan? Not that I'm an expert or anything, but, I don't think it worked. Yes, so I've noticed. So, you gonna try again, or...? I'm afraid even if I did, I fear the result may still be the same. With a loud and clearly tired sigh, Aslan looks over at me once before crossing his arms and muttering to himself. Just as I feared, the dimensional jump is far too consuming of a spell to use twice in a row. Even I mustn't have the magic left alone to do it twice so consecutively. Well, I suppose it only leaves one choice left. Not that it deviates much from my original destination. Hello? Earth to Aslan? You're talking to yourself again. Not sure if I'm following here. Forgive me, Luna. It seems you'll have to bear with me a little longer. I just, well, I need a bit of help to send you back home. But luckily, I know just the person fit for the task. Without another word of explanation, I only watch as Aslan picks up his bag and points ahead of us. I turn my head to look into what appears to be the entrance of a dense forest in the distance. Trees, plants, and flora the like I've never seen before seem to mysteriously bloom as faint glowing lights emerge from deeper inside. Sorry about this, but would you mind accompanying me for just a little longer? Let me guess, I'm still not allowed to ask about the scaly green men or the giant glowing circle you conjured up a few minutes ago? It'd be really, really helpful if you didn't. I'm sorry, I know it's quite a tall order, but I simply can't explain it to you right now. At least not right here. Fine. But I'm totally calling dibs on the year's worth of free drinks you offered earlier. It's yours, I promise. So, now then, if you would, please come with me. What a nerd. Oh, it's so cute! No, it's so pretty! Stop it. No! It's pretty. I'm weak to pretty things. Aim a bird brain. Aslan smiles as he extends out a hand to me. The bright moon peeks out from amongst the clouds it was previously hidden behind, casting a moonlit glow over his figure. For a second, I can no longer even recognize the man in front of me. His emerald green eyes twinkle brightly in the glow of the silver moon as his hand awaits my own. Hesitation slowly seeps into my heart as the man in front of me seems so different from the patron saint I've known all these years. But as he shoots me a small, patient smile, I can't help but relax at the sight. As I hesitantly place my hand in his, my doubt slowly begins to dissipate. Though his appearance has changed, his smile remains the same and assures me he's the same person I've been looking for all this time. No, but that's really pretty. Alright, episode 2. A bit shorter than I was expecting, but I'm okay with that. Also because I am recording this on my lunch break. Okay. Instantly my first thought was Alice in Wonderland, and I am here for it. It's so pretty. That being said, if I saw mushrooms that big with glowy things, I would probably be freaked out myself. With my hand in Aslan's, he gently guides me into the forest. Once we're inside, a faint, shimmering mist seems to envelop us and settle over our surroundings. When I turn back, I realize I can no longer see the entrance behind us. There's only a wall of mist where the candlelit town once was. I yelp as a piece of foliage brushes against my ankle in the dark, almost as if it reached out by itself. Aslan? I know I said I'd come with you and all, but, where exactly are we going? And isn't there like a shortcut or anything we can take? Or do we have to... Yeah, I don't know if I can actually do a proper gulp sound right now. Nope. Go through this creepy-looking forest? The sounds of leaves rustling and what feels like faint giggles coming from the flowers are my sole reply, only serving to send more shivers down my spine. As I open my mouth to voice more of my concerns, none of them make it past my lips as I gaze at Aslan's far-off, concentrated expression. If I remember the way correctly, it's 5 paces past the broken tree stump, and then a sharp left at the glowing mushroom bed. From then on, it's 3 steps north of the frazzleberry bush, and then... I follow behind him silently, not even sure if I should ask what the heck that is, or just where in the world we're headed. But a sudden tug pulls me back and I break contact with Aslan's hand. I blink back and realize the hem of my dress is caught against a rough piece of bark from a nearby tree trunk. One of which I swore just smirked at me. Aslan, hold on. I think I've hit a snag on some pervy-looking tree stump. I quickly reach down to free myself, but when I turn back, I realize that the pink-haired man is suddenly nowhere in sight. Oh, he has like a one-track mind, huh? Oh no! I take a few steps forward, only to find more mist settling in the area around me. I swear I can still make out his mumbling voice, but it sounds far away and faint. Aslan? I do hope she's in, since I didn't notify her beforehand, but then again, I assume she must be. Hey, Aslan! Wait up! I run a few paces ahead toward the sound of his voice. Oh, shit! Only to find myself digging my heels to stop at the dead end of a cliff as I turn a corner. Wait, what? I turn back the way I think I came, but find myself stopping into the grove of glowing flowers I definitely hadn't seen before. Oh no. No. Please don't tell me I'm lost in this godforsaken place. A chilly breeze blows past and rattles the foliage around me as if the whole forest is shaking a laugh in response. Oh great! Just what I need right now! A sentient forest laughing at me! What's next, huh? A monstrous carnivorous plant that wants to... But before I can finish my sentence, a strong pull sweeps me off my feet, sending my body tumbling to the ground. And when I recover from the daze, I notice a pair of thick, dark vines have wrapped themselves around my ankles without me even realizing. Oh my god! This can't actually be happening! If I was gonna be isekai... God, if only. If I was gonna be isekai'd, why couldn't it be into a shoujo manga or something, man? I tear at the thick vines, trying my best to free myself from their grips. But my hands suddenly freeze when I notice a shape emerging from the dark shadows at the edge of the clearing. Aslan! Dude! Help me out! Here! Suddenly, a pair of huge fanned leaves part and reveal a huge bulbous flower in the middle. Or, at least I think it's a flower. But my blood drains from my face when I make out what appears to be a wide mouth in the center, complete with a row of razor-sharp teeth that glint in the moonlight. Not Aslan! You're definitely not Aslan! I'm caught fumbling, kicking my legs in vain as my brain racks for ideas on how to get out of this situation. I want to scream, but my voice gets caught in my throat as the huge head of the flower snakes its way towards me. Globs of thick nectar, or God knows what, is now dripping from its ominously smiling mouth as it sizes me up. Stay back! Look, I promise, you don't want to eat me. Oh, I'm gonna taste like his cold coffee mixed with disappointment. The monster rears back and pauses for a moment before violently lunging forward. I fall back and scream as I brace myself for the worst. At that moment, the pen that had been in my pocket the whole time falls out onto the ground next to me. It shakes for a second before bursting out into a blinding pink light. Philia! Ah, Philia! So cute! I'm up already. Sheesh. Talk about a rude awakening. Did you really have to shake me that hard? Whoa, what the heck is that? I'm left dumbstruck as the pen transforms into what appears to be a small pink penguin wearing an oversized witch's hat on its head. The plant monster only lets out a roaring shriek in response as thick nectar falls into bottles near us. The penguin quickly waves a small wand at the creature as she lifts her beak up defiantly. Oh, you got the wrong penguin, buddy! Like hell I'm becoming plant food today! Take this! Several pink sparks of light catapult toward the plant, and they sever the vines that were gripped around my legs. After a few more moments of explosive sparkles on light displays, the monster's plant finally has enough and shrinks back into the hole it came from. sudden eerie silence seems to settle in compared to the monstrous shrieks that echoed just moments ago. I breathe in heavily and wait a few heart-pounding moments to make sure the plant is gone for good before I let out the biggest sigh of my life. When my racing pulse finally calms itself, I look forward to see a pink feathered blob now flying towards me.
And you! Are you stupid? What kind of dumbass goes into the grove of a man-eating vampire plant at night? You could have gotten us killed!
As the penguin approaches, it stops mid-flight. The murderous expression on its face morphs into a startled one as it looks at me.
Wait. And just who the heck are you?
I blink. I'm Luna.
Luna? Wait. Hold on a second.
The penguin floats closer, circling me once and flicks at a strand of my hair before it flits back in front of me. The penguin's face suddenly switches from confusion back to shock as it takes a moment to look me up and down.
Are you a human?
Yes? At least I think so.
But what? How? How did you even get here? This isn't the human realm. That shouldn't be possible.
I'm honestly not sure myself. This all started when the bartender took my book and then I ended up following him to the next day into some weird alleyway. And then we ended up here and now I'm talking to a weird penguin and...
Wait, did you say a bartender?
Yeah, his name's Aslan. He told me to follow him here, but then...
Aslan?
My sentence gets interrupted with the penguin's indignant squawk, but at least there's a glint of recognition in its eyes.
Well, that explains something, I guess. Wait, if you're traveling with Aslan, then where is he now?
Yeah, well, about that. The meek smile and shrug I flash, coupled with the fact that the aforementioned man is nowhere to be seen, is sufficient enough to answer the question. The penguin rolls its eyes and its voice squeaks up a few octaves when it huffs.
Oh, that's just typical. That kid's always been such a space case. I swear, he'd lose his own head if it wasn't attached right to his body.
Same, though. After a moment, the penguin floats down to the ground in front of me and sighs, running a tired flipper down her face.
Well, let's go find him, shall we? Oh, and by the way, you can call me Philia. Nice to meet you, Luna.
Philia?
Yep. Philia, messenger of love and magical witch apprentice extraordinaire at your service. But, well, we can leave the formalities for when we're out of this dingy forest. Trust me, there's plenty worse than that last overgrown houseplant crawling around here.
I finally snap out of my daze at the command and quickly rise to my feet. Philia glides past me toward the edge of the clearing, back into the dark fringes of the forest. My legs stumble a bit as I feel a dull sting emanating from where the vines had twisted around them. But I managed to make my way behind Philia. Excuse me. Hold on, Philia. We might get lost again. This place is a total maze. You turn around for a second and suddenly everything looks completely different. But the penguin just huffs a laugh at my concerns as she turns to face me.
Pshaw! You don't gotta worry. I know this place like the back of my hand. After all, it's where my master lives. And besides, it's fine. I can actually sense Aslan's presence nearby. He must have realized he lost you by now.
His, presence? What does that even mean? At that moment, a familiar voice rings out from the forest interior. Luna? Aslan? Larger shout. Aslan! Not fucking shouting that much, damn it. Luna, where are you? Over here! I'm sorry, not shouting. I've already done enough shouting. Without thinking, I find myself running into the forest towards the direction of his voice.
Hey, wait up, Luna! Didn't you learn from literally 3 seconds ago?
But Philia's protests fall on deaf ears as I'm already barreling toward the dirt path in front of me. The mist is thick and I can barely see 2 feet ahead, but I keep running towards Aslan's voice. Luna! Aslan! Over here! I turn a corner and suddenly bump into something solid but warm and oddly soft. I blink a few times, only to realize I'm currently caught in the arms of the very man I've been searching for. I look up and my breath hitches as I meet Aslan's gaze peering down at me. His emerald eyes are turning with both worry and relief. Aslan, is that really you? Luna, oh thank heavens I found you. You're not hurt, are you? I must apologize for...
All right, who wants to die first tonight, huh?
The two of us jump at Philia's sudden war cry from behind us. I turn my head around and see the pink penguin zooming her way towards us with pure rage in her little beady eyes. She smacks me over the head with her flipper when she reaches me. Ow!
First, you! What did we say about running into the forest after you literally just got almost eaten?
Eaten? Philia swirls her attention to the pink-haired man, clearly about to give him an earful of his own.
And you, Mr. Aslan? What the hell are you doing bringing a human to this realm? Are you crazy? Oh, you are so grounded when I tell Master Agatha. Just you wait.
But as Aslan opens his mouth, his pocket watch from before tumbles out from a hole in his bag. The small trinket glows just like my pen did earlier, but this time a brilliant blue. And moments later, another small, familiar-looking figure materializes and joins the fray. Oh no, it's so cute! I also need another voice. I'm assuming it's a... like, if we're gonna go based on colors alone, probably a guy penguin, probably maybe, I don't know. How dare you talk to my master that way, you discarded wad of chewing gum!
Oh, perfect. Look who finally decided to show up. The real icing on the cake. And who are you calling a chewing gum, Perlo?
How many times do I have to tell you it's Merlot? Merlot! Or has your brain been chewed up too, Philia?
Ha! More like Merblot's.
The blue and pink penguins squawk at their ridiculous argument cranks up a notch as all I can do is watch wide-eyed in absolute confusion. And a little amusement. I feel Aslan's sigh against me. My cheeks flush when I realize he still has his arms slung absentmindedly around me, clutching me close to his chest. I watch from the corner of my eye as he brings one of his hands to pinch his temples amidst the yelling. Oh heavens, here we go.
Look here, you uncivilized twat! I will not stand by and watch as you insult my master. A wizard of his standing deserves the utmost respect. If he wants respect, then he should earn it. You think leaving a human alone in the Forbidden Forest is gonna earn him brownie points? If it wasn't for me, she'd be plant feet by now.
How dare you slander his name with your baseless accusations? Clearly he must have had a good reason. Why, I should teach you a lesson of respect right this instant.
Oh yeah? Bring it, chump! Catch these flippers!
Just before Philia is about to send an explosive blast straight at Merlot's face, I swear I hear a twig snap and Aslan's eyes fly open with a deep frown. Enough! Both of you! Cease this foolishness at once! Aslan's uncharacteristically loud reprimand holds an edge to it I've never heard before, and his voice seems to reverberate around the entire forest. The two penguins break apart at once and quickly fly to hide behind my back, both peeking out from my shoulders. After a few seconds, they quickly bow their heads and cast their gazes downward. My apologies, Master. I lost my composure. It was terribly unfitting of me.
I guess I kinda went overboard too. Sorry.
Now it's finally quiet. Aslan sighs once again as he runs a hand through his hair. Although he doesn't say another word, I can tell he must be tired from dealing with one ordeal after the other. After a few silent moments, I gently tug on his cloak and clear my throat. Aslan, are you okay? Maybe it's something he sees in my eyes or hears the tone of my voice, but after he looks down and sees my face peering up at his own, the tension he was holding in his frame seems to melt away. The features of his face also fell back into the usual polite smile I'm used to seeing. Yes, I'm quite alright now. Thank you, Luna. And allow me to finally apologize for losing track of you back there. The forest is enchanted, you see, so that was truly careless of me. I'm quite accustomed to it myself, but it seems I'm not very used to traveling with a companion just yet. Aslan's eyebrows furrow even deeper in apology. More than any of us, you're the one who must feel the most lost right now. I'm sure you have thousands of questions you must want to ask, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I won't let you out of my sight again. Not until I get you home safe and sound. I promise. He shoots me a sympathetic yet determined look, which causes me to stammer. I feel my cheeks inadvertently flushing against the genuine sincerity in his tone. Oh, it's fine, Aslan. I'm fine now. No harm done, you know? And I'm also partly to blame for wandering off too, so thank you. It means a lot. I'll, stick closer to you too, you know, for safety, if that's alright. And at that, Aslan simply nods with a small chuckle. He then turns and clears his throat. And now I believe we owe you some formal introductions. My name is Aslan. I am what your kind would refer to as a sorcerer, or a wizard if you will. This here is Merlot. He's my familiar and he's always with me as I travel. He also takes the form of a pocket watch you returned to me earlier. The blue penguin who wears a stern expression bows his head. As my master just said, I am Merlot, Penguinus the Third. Penguinus. An ever-loyal servant to his wizardship. Nice to meet you, miss. I don't think Merlot's just gonna have a consistent voice, it's fine. It's nice to meet you too, Merlot. My name is Luna. And from what I see, you have already been acquainted. But this here is Philia.
Yep, the name's Philia. I serve and study under Master Agatha, the greatest and most powerful witch in all the realms. So, if any of these two knuckleheads give you a hard time, then you just let me know. Hehe.
Thanks, Philia. I'll keep that in mind. The little penguin lifts a threatening whipper up while flashing me a wink, and I can't help but laugh. After we finish our introductions, our attention turns back to Aslan. And now, Merlot, Philia, let me start by explaining just how we ended up in this precarious situation. And that about covers all that's happened and how Luna ended up following me here into this realm. Although, even I cannot explain why or how, but the fact is she's here right now, in front of us, is proof that it's possible nonetheless. I've tried sending her back already, but I fear perhaps my magic alone was not sufficient enough to teleport her all the way to her original realm so soon. And as I was already on my way back to grandmother's house, Wait, grandmother? Agatha's his grandmother? Huh. Go figure. I figured I could simply take Luna with me too. Aslan suddenly trails up before his eyes light up at another thought. Ah, wait, Merlot, Philia! If the three of us were to combine our powers here, then surely we can summon enough magic to send Luna back to her realm right away. Why don't we give it a try, yes? The two penguins exchange looks and nod.
Seems worth a shot.
As you wish, Master. Are you guys sure? The last time didn't really... Yes, don't worry, Luna. It's just as I said before. Once we send you back, all of this will feel like a little more than a strange, fleeting daydream. Excuse me. And once you arrive home, everything will return to normal, as it should be. It's not gonna work. Something twitches in my heart at that statement, but I bite my lip and hesitantly nod nonetheless. The trio take this as a sign to proceed, and they all close their eyes. The three magical beings begin chanting in a language I don't understand as a magic circle, much like the one before, begins to materialize under my feet. Oh, right, duh. Suddenly, I find the urge to speak out. Wait, Before I can get out another word, an immense gust of wind picks up and swirls around us like a mystical, shimmering cyclone. I'll say Septimus Solitus Memoranda, because I'm not going to try to read it in three different voices, it's fine. One particularly strong blast of air nearly sweeps me off my feet, and I shut my eyes tight as an overpowering wash of light envelops me. Still pretty. Then suddenly, everything falls dead silent. I crack another eye open to see that, just like last time, I'm still in the same place.
Damn, Merlot! Were you even trying? Put your beak into it, bro!
How dare you?
It was clearly your fault! If you hadn't skipped so many magic classes back in the academy, then perhaps...
I let out a breath as I didn't realize I was holding as a small smile tugs at my lips, watching the two penguins begin clamoring again. I can't explain why, but there's a spark of relief deep in my heart. But I can't dwell on long the thought, as the sound of Aslan starting to mumble again brings my attention to him. I don't understand. Surely our powers combined have enough magical prowess to... Or perhaps... But no, that wouldn't make any sense. I reach out hesitantly to tug on Aslan's sleeve. Aslan blinks at my action and looks back down at me with apologetic eyes. Aslan? So I guess I'm not going home yet? No, I suppose not. Do allow me to apologize yet again. But you'll be home soon, alright? I give you my word. Well, I suppose this leaves us with no other choice. Let's return to my original plan and give my grandmother a visit, shall we? If no one else, I'm sure she will know exactly what to do. Her cottage is just a bit deeper into the forest. Let's hurry. I can only nod and allow Aslan to guide me once again through the enchanted forest. Rude, just gonna leave the fucking penguins behind? Oh, that's really pretty. Oh, I love this game. I guess I also haven't really been commenting on the fact that I really like the music of the sound effects too. Just pretty backgrounds. Once we finally through passing what feels like a never-ending maze, I'm immediately met by the sound of a lone cottage standing in the middle of a clearing. The moon shining high above us bathes the area in a breathtaking glow as the grass around it ripples like silver waves in the night. The cottage is modest in size, but the aged exterior looks beautiful with how vines of blooming flowers have claimed the walls, wrapping themselves upwards. My steps come to a stop as I marvel at the sight. Wow, this looks, magical. I hear Aslan chuckle as he turns around and gestures for me to hurry along. I'm sure my grandmother would appreciate the compliment. But come now, we're almost there. I nod and jog a few paces forward to catch up. My eyes dart around, scanning the foreign area in a wonder as the four of us continue down the dotted stone path leading to the entrance. However, once we reach the front door, Aslan stops with a frown. Oh, wonderful. Just what we needed to finish this night off. I peer out from behind him and follow his gaze to a small note attached to the door. How kidding eggs, Agatha. The note seems simple enough. I tilt my head in confusion at the young man's reaction. Okay, so she's not home, but we can just wait a bit and she'll be back, right? I wish it were that simple, truly. But unfortunately, my grandmother only eats the eggs of a special breed of fowl that can solely be found in another distant dimension. Another dimension?
Yep, and if I know Master Agatha, you never really know when she'll be back after she starts dimension hopping.
It could be hours, days, or even weeks. Time flows differently across all other worlds, after all. So that means, what exactly? The other three exchange glances and take a moment to weigh our current options. We could stay here for the time being, but there's no telling how long she may take.
Then let's just open up a portal and meet her there.
You can't send her home. How are you gonna dimension hop to another portal to get Agatha?
Aslan and I both know exactly where she headed off to.
The blue penguin shoots his companion a peeved glare. Yeah, there we go. And have you already forgotten our failed attempt at that, or should I remind you?
Oh, so you just want to give up? Is that it?
Now, Merlot. Philly may have a point here. If it might help Luna get home sooner, then I think it's certainly worth another shot. Perhaps the results will be different if we try another world, yes? Merlot had no retort to that, and the three huddled together once again. Oh, goodness. Sorry, got distracted. Eventually, Aslan steps forward and flashes me an apologetic look. Sorry to ask this of you, Luna, but since all of us will be traveling together this time, it's imperative we stick closely. And if it does indeed work, I don't want to risk us getting separated. I promised I wouldn't lose you again, so... I see Aslan holding an arm out for me as his explanation trails off. His gaze is expectant as he stares at me, and I stutter in response when it clicks. Oh, sure. Gotcha. I take his arm gratefully, wrapping my own around it, and he flashes me a smile. I feel his other arm wrap around my waist in a secure grip as he pulls me close. Heat rises to my cheeks at the feeling of being pressed flush against his side once again. He's just being nice to me, making sure you don't get yeeted off to some random dimension, okay? Calm down. Are you two ready? Yes, sir.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Aslan peers down to flash me one more reassuring smile. All right, Luna. Hold on tight now. This shouldn't take but a moment. The three begin chanting the spell once again. I grip Aslan's cloak with both hands as the wind picks up and swirls around us. Septimus, Solitus, and Miranda. I'm not. I feel Aslan tighten his grip around me, pulling me impossibly closer. And the last thing I remember before an overpowering light floods my senses is thinking that, well, maybe it wouldn't be so bad if I didn't get home so soon after all. A nightly encounter. That sounds promising for an episode 3 start, but I am going to have to call it here. So, thank you for joining. Hopefully you had fun. Or at the very least, hopefully it's a nice thing to put on in the background and listen to, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, have a good night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever it is for you, and I'll see you later.